How are we doing? Are you coming back down?
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. We're gonna do it for. Okay. Congratulations, sir. I know. Yeah. Very good. We talked about that. So yeah. We love our hangers. Great big display. Thank you for coming out of your busy day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sign this. The ceremony will begin momentarily. We request all electronic devices be silenced or turned off for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Senior Master Sergeant Dennis Apple, and I will be your narrator for this event. On behalf of Colonel Amy C. Howard, Commander of the 452nd Maintenance Group and presiding official for the ceremony, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron Assumption of Command. Throughout the ceremony, you'll be giving cues to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, military members in uniform remain in attention, and all others place their right hand over their heart during the singing of the national anthem. I am pleased to extend a warm welcome to some very special guests joining us today. Please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. Lieutenant Colonel Newbecker's wife, Kelly Newbecker, stepdaughter, Sadie Whittington, mother, Bonnie McDonald, mother-in-law, Patricia Nemnick, father-in-law, Nathan Joseph Nemnick, and our honorary commander, the president of the Corona Chamber of Commerce, Bobby Siegel. Among our distinguished guests in attendance, we are also pleased to welcome the 452nd Air Mobility Wing Inspector General, Colonel Robert Heine, the 452nd Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Rodney McCrane, the 452nd Air Mobility Wing Command Chief, Chief Octavio Ortiz, the 452nd Maintenance Group Superintendent, Chief Gabriel Montoya, and the 452nd Mission Group Support Superintendent, Chief Rosalind Radcliffe. Welcome. We would also like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, family members, special friends, and the members of the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. Thank you for sharing on this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Base Honor Guard, singing the national anthem by Senior Master Sergeant Griffey, and the invocation given by Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Hunt.
Color. Hope. Present arms. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched with so gallantly stream, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Port. On.
Please join me for prayer. Almighty and gracious God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the purpose of this event, for the rich tradition it represents. We all know the challenges that leadership has. Being a commander takes diligence, creative management, and energy-consuming effort. May this transition be smoothly, and may the family have patience with the long hours and have understanding for the demands of the job. As Lieutenant Colonel Neubecker assumes command, may he have the wisdom of Solomon in decisions that he makes. May he have the courage of David when he faces the daily grind, and have the strength of Samson to endure the daily grinds and having patience. Finally, God, we ask that he will be like Job, that he can deal with ever-changing demands placed upon him. We humbly ask your blessing upon these two right now as they pass between them, the guidon of command. And as the guidon passes, we ask that your strength will attend to them both. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today, we will observe an assumption of command, during which Lieutenant Colonel Neubecker will assume the reins of responsibility and leadership of the 752nd Maintenance Squadron. The assumption of command is a deeply rooted military tradition dating back to the time of Frederick the Great of Prussia. In that period, military organizations developed flags with unique and specialized colors and designs. When soldiers followed their leaders into battle, they kept sight of their flag. If the banner still waved after the conflict, it was a sign of victory. Having this position of great importance, the flag was incorporated into ancient assumption of command ceremonies. The organizational banner was presented in public for all see that the holder of the flag is the unchallenged and sovereign leader of the armies. The modern day ceremony is principally symbolic, yet it still announces to all the authority of the incoming commanders in the finest military tradition. At this time, it is my honor to introduce the presiding official for today's ceremony, the commander, 452nd Maintenance Group, Colonel Amy Howard.
Frank, thanks for coming. Chief. Hermione, see you. Mr. People, thank you for joining us today. Kelly and Sadie, so good to see you. Ms. McDonald, so grateful to have you guys. What a blessing it is to have you guys come in person. Mr. and Mrs. Nimnick, welcome. Welcome to our family. There she is. So I think you read my notes with your prayer. It is spot on. It was one of the best assumption of command, change of command prayers I've put because it's so true. Squad of command, one of the toughest positions out there. Long hours, phone calls at the craziest hours, or texts, interruptions to family time, short suspenses, and high demands from a very demanding boss. Personal challenges that are going to break your heart, tough decisions that you're going to have to make. But we have to do all of these things without letting the airmen see that churn that's going on. And when we leave the office, we have to not take it home with us to the family. It's tough. You want to walk in the door and greet your family with that smile and have those worries lifted. Sadie, happy belated 7th birthday. I want you to know how important John is to us. There's going to be days where he gets home late. Maybe this is a family event. You, Sadie, are one of the reasons why he works so hard. He wants to make sure that the future you have is safe and secure, and that's why he's doing this. I know that's kind of hard to understand, but it's so important. He's important to us. Kelly, we recognize your role here. His mantle is heavy. His worries are very real. You're his teammate, his partner, his cheerleader, and his confidant. And your support means so much to them, more than the words will ever express. You're serving your country right now alongside of him, and we thank you for that. It's a calling to be a good spouse. We welcome you to our team. You're very important to us. My team is here to support you, so if you need anything, you let me know. If he doesn't say thank you enough, you let me know. I'll take care of that. And when life allows you to pursue your career again, when everything lines up, we're there to cheer you on at the same time. John, remember your family signed up for this at the same time. They are your partner, they're your team, they made a commitment. Your squadron has had a very tough year, but they've been very successful. COVID obviously hit the whole base, right? But your squadron in particular was hit. Because our real world nuclear mission did not stop. Our adversaries did not take a break because of the pandemic. They didn't care. And in fact, Global Thunder this last year was probably one of the most important nuclear exercises that we've ever done. Because I guarantee that our adversaries were watching to see how we responded during the pandemic and if we could still maintain that capability. And you know what? We did. We generated all the aircraft and we had a successful exercise. Your TFI team did that. They creatively adjusted work schedules, mitigation efforts that we never thought we would ever have to do, and ensured our daily alert lines have not missed a beat. Even in the height of our full-time deficits and our TR deficits, when the daily briefing just kept getting worse and worse with the numbers going up, they've shown me just how resilient they are. And I think they use it even more in them. I think they're ready to give it to you. On top of COVID over the last year, you guys have dealt with a 60-plus-year-old aircraft with parts that we just can't find. You help bring it, even with all of that, you help bring our fleet health back up. In fact, April, we saw the highest rates, MC rate, mission capable rate that we've had since before I started in October. That's huge. Well done. They are driven, They want to get the mission done. They want to see the airplanes fly. They want to be a part of something bigger. Your team will work to the bone for this mission, or maybe staples in the head. But that doesn't happen. They are the technical experts, masters, motivated, and really, really good at what they do. Lean on your leadership team, take care of our airmen, guide them, advocate for them, inspire them, and empower them. 752, I want to tell you about the leader that you're getting. First, he has a family history of service. His dad was a Vietnam veteran. He's a maintainer through and through, starting off as a flight line, crew chief role out at Langley, and then back here at March. He picked up commissioning through the commissioning program. Then they came back. He was the maintenance officer in Moss and the MXS. And then he took a leap and went over to C5s at Lackland. You think the 135s are tough. You should see the NC rate of the C5s. And then he hopped up to McConnell, and then over to Beale, where he helped them stand up the 135s, learned more about the nuclear mission. And then he came back here down in our IGI office, where he brought his nuclear knowledge with him. And that's what he's been doing for the last year and a half. So I think he knows the nuclear mission. And I think he knows maintenance. So I think we're good. For our 912 partners, right? Harmony Becker comes with CFI experience as well. And he's ready and willing to nurture that relationship. Relationships are important. We do have one little thing that we need to work on with them, the sports teams. And handle the Buckeyes, the Browns and the Indians, and Cleveland Browns and Indians, we need to work on that with them, guys. Okay? And I don't mean with the Dodgers or the Padres, sorry. In all seriousness, 752, he's ready to lead you, advocate, and serve you. So there's only one thing left that we need to do.
Thank you, Colonel Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence with the assumption of command for the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. This transfer symbolizes the continuity of command in the armed forces. The flag is the physical manifestation of command and is passed from Senior Master Sergeant Sobers to Colonel Howard, who will then pass it to Lieutenant Colonel Newbecker as a sign of transfer of command. Attention orders. Department of the Air Force Special Order Number G-021-07, under the provisions of the Air Force Instruction 51-604, effective 12 June 2021, Lieutenant Colonel John Newbecker assumes command of the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, March Air Reserve Base, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is now my privilege to present to you the commander of the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel John Newbecker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Said I'd like to day. I want to say thank you, my friend. Yes. I know you have a busy schedule, but I appreciate you coming out for this. First and foremost, I can't tell you what an honor it is to be standing here today. Colonel Howard, I appreciate your trust and this tremendous vote of confidence. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to command the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. I know you're really wondering what's going on. Just thinking, but I'll let you know. Ma'am, I won't screw it up. I'll absolutely try my best. I want to reemphasize to you my personal commitment and lead the squadron as well as I know how. But also understand that good followership on my heart is still as well. To my wife, Kelly, thank you for all your support and understanding. You've been my best friend, my wife, and my team. To say, you are a ray of sunshine that brightens my day. I'm so very proud that the young lady you are becoming. I want to have my mom. Thank you for traveling along at the airport back in August of 1990 and supporting me throughout the year. For everyone else, today is the first time my mom has been able to see a military ceremony. I think it's a pretty good one. I also want to thank my father and mother-in-law for making the trip out here today. Thank you for your support too. Guy Joe, thank you for your service. Now I'd like to talk specifically to the men and women of the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. The best in the West. The work you do day in and day out to keep KC-135 green and ready to go when called upon. You are part of everyone else's mission. NKAWTG. You know what that stands for, but I have to keep the G rated for a certain person. But you know what that acronym means. You are the deterrence that keeps our enemies at bay. The capabilities you bring to the fight are vital to the Air Force. You all play a prominent role in our national security. I've been in aircraft maintenance for most of my career. From the flight line turning wrenches to being the commander of this great squadron today. It is truly a privilege. I believe in team effort. Collectively, we will continue to respect and support each other as members of the Air Force family, and more specifically, to our squadron. Our success will be shared successes, and on those rare occasions when we fail, our failures will also be shared as a team learning experience. Then we'll get back up, we'll dust ourselves off, and we'll get back in. All right. I'm extremely proud and humbled to be your commander, and I promise you my best efforts every day. I will likewise count on each of you to bring your best efforts every day, and I know you will. I have already seen it firsthand. I know ceremonies like this are difficult to plan and execute. So if you would please join me in a round of applause for our first sergeant, Senior Master Sergeant Silver. Thank you, Senior Apple, for narrating, and Senior Griffey. good respected men. And for all those behind the scenes that were holding programs, making things happen, PA coming out to get this set up, thank you. I appreciate it. Colonel Howard, again, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to command this great squadron. To all in attendance, thank you for being here today. You truly honor us with your presence. Thank you again, and may God bless each of you.
The men and women of the 752nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron would also like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Becker's wife, Kelly, and stepdaughter, Sadie. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's Assumption of Command ceremony. In keeping with military tradition, please stand as we conclude with the singing of the Air Force song, followed by the departure of the official party. Please remain in place until the official party has departed the area. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating Lieutenant Colonel Becker. Colonel Howard and Lieutenant Colonel Becker, we thank you for your support and attendance today. Have a great afternoon.